Movies are one of the virtual escapes that we all require. Grab a popcorn and Coke, choose a movie, and just relax. It's literally like all your visions and imagination is put out on a screen, and it is amazing to not use our brain and relax for a while and just take it all in. Since mythology is the main theme of our channel, we'll introduce you all with some of the movies based on mythology that I feel are amazing and worth watching. Before we get into it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such videos on mythology, and help us grow. Let's go! When someone says a movie is about mythology, the first thought might be Percy Jackson or Hercules. It feels obvious that these films are so explicitly about Greek mythology, which is abundantly familiarized within pop culture. But Grecian legends are not the only ones in existence. Countries all over the world have their own ancient tales, legends, and myths, and they're often the source of inspiration for contemporary stories or have aspects woven into the narrative without even realizing it. Number 10. MAHABHARAT 2013. IMDb 8.9. Producer Siddharth Kumar Tiwari. Actors Saurabh Rajan, Pooja Sharma, Shahir Sheikh. MAHABHARAT movies based on the war of Kurukshetra that is basically considered the mother of all wars in the Indian mythology. This war is between two groups of cousins, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, for the throne of Hastinapur. The main reason for this war is Draupadi, the common wife of all the 5 Pandavas. To know the whole scenario in detail who won this war, you'll have to watch it. It is one of my personal favorites, though the storyline may seem complicated at first, but I'm sure that you'll love it as it escalates. Number 9. Gladiator 2000. IMDb 8.5. Director Ridley Scott. Actors Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, and Connie Nielsen. A dying Marcus Aurelius plans to name his loyal and brave general Maximus as his successor in order to restore the power of the Roman Senate. However, his power-hungry, jealous son Commodus learns of the plan, murders Marcus Aurelius, and plans to execute Maximus in order to secure his claim to the throne. Maximus escapes execution, but is sold into slavery and is forced to become a gladiator. Eventually, Maximus and his fellow gladiators are sent to Rome to perform for Commodus. Through his bravery, he wins over the masses and reveals his true identity, much to the chagrin of Commodus. Can Maximus use his newfound popularity to avenge Marcus Aurelius' death, or will Commodus be able to keep the throne? Number 8. Spartacus. IMDb 7.9. Director Stanley Kubrick. Actors Kirk Douglas, Laurence Olivier, and Gene Simmons. The most interesting element of Spartacus is its buried political assumptions. The movie is about revolution and clearly reflects the decadence of the parasitical upper class and the superior moral fiber of the slaves. The film traces the story of the slave Spartacus, who earns a reputation for courage as a gladiator, while a possession of the wealthy Lentulus Batiatus. The fiercely independent slave seeks freedom for himself and his downtrodden companions, and indeed frees them. Most of all have appreciated the ending very much, and it is indeed wonderful and worth a shot. Number 7. 300. IMDb 7.6. Director Jack Snyder. Actors Gerard Butler, Lena Headey, and David Wenham. The story is indeed one of the most famous ones to exist. Around 480 BC, there was a war condition that persisted between Persia and Greece. Persia was led by the king Xerxes. The Battle of Thermopylae took place in which Leonidas, the king of the Greek city of Sparta, was outnumbered against the Persian army. The Spartans knew they were going to die, yet chose to fight and sacrifice themselves for Greece, and were united as they believed, never retreat, never surrender. Number 6. The Devil's Advocate. IMDb 7.5. Director Taylor Hackford. Actors Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino, Charlize Theron. The Devil's Advocate is the story of lawyer Kevin Lomax in Florida who accepts a job in New York's exceptional law firm with a boss, John Milton, who is at the top. As Kevin accelerates his way through his job, his wife who moved in with him to New York, Marianne, starts getting visions that are horrendous. Kevin then realizes that something was not adding up in that place. This basically is a horror and thriller story, and it teaches a lot about our sins. Number 5. Troy 2004. IMDb 7.3. Director Wolfgang Peterson. Actors Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, Orlando Bloom. Troy is basically from Homer's Iliad that depicts the war of the kingdom of Troy in Sparta. When Menelaus, the Spartan king, is visited by the Trojan prince, Paris, the prince, he falls for the Spartan king's wife Helen. So the brother of Menelaus, King Agamemnon, takes advantage of the situation and declares a war over Troy by using his brother's fury as he defeated all the kingdoms in Greece, with this one left that kept him away from owning the Aegean Sea. Also, if you get the time, there is also a mythological theory of goddess Athena over this war that we have mentioned in one of our previous videos, so please do check it out. Number 4. Hereditary 2018. IMDb 7.3. Director Ari Aster. Actors Toni Collette, Millie Shapiro, and Gabriel Byrne. To be really fair, a few scenes of this movie might seriously cringe you out because trust me, I don't want to scream out the spoilers. So I won't say it, but watch it at your own risk. This can also be considered a horror thriller. So obviously, I had to watch it. It is based on a real-life incident. Like, not exactly the same, but yeah, it's related. This begins with when the mother of Annie Graham dies, and Annie's husband, her daughter and son, all are mourning. After this incident, a cynical behavior of the children began as they start to unravel sinister secrets of their family. Number 3. The Northman. IMDb 7.1. Director Robert Eggers. Actor Alexander Skarsgård. Nicole Kidman, Claes Bang. Prince Amleth, his father here, is murdered mercilessly by his uncle, and this disgusting uncle kidnaps Amleth's mother as well. Amleth, filled with vengeance, after a few decades grows to be a Viking man who raids Slavic villages. Later on, he meets Asiris, who reminds him for his vow and his original destination. The story is pretty straightforward as his goal is to avenge his father, kill the bastard uncle, and save his mother. But his childhood is pretty much cut down because of Fjolnir's killing war, Raven and Gudrun's cold indifference. Number 2. The Mummy, 1999. IMDb 7.1. Director Stephen Sommers. Actors Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hanahan. Adventurer Rick O'Connell travels to the City of Dead, Hymenoptera, with a librarian and her older brother, where they accidentally awaken Imhotep, a cursed high priest with supernatural powers. Basically, these guys awaken a mummy up who is sentenced to an eternity of living dead, and soon after he wakes up, he obviously wrecks everything in search of his long-lost love with whom he wants to reincarnate. Personally, it was very enjoyable, but people call it horrific and disturbing. But to be honest, it was just suspenseful and thrill. And number 1, The Ritual. IMDb 6.3. Director David Bruckner. Actors Rafe Spall, Arshur Ali, Robert James Collier. The Ritual starts with 5 longtime friends gather in a pub to plan a trip to Sweden for their holidays, like a boys' trip. But things don't turn out in the way which they wanted, as one of their friends dies on their way back home from the pub. To honor the friend that died, they decide to go hiking in Sweden as planned and establish a small memorial for him. But soon after, unsettling things start to happen as they find shelter in a hut. Before I end this video, there are a few movies that haven't been included above, like Gods of Egypt, The Legend of Hercules, The Mummy of Tom Cruise, Clash of Titans, and more, because they did not really pique my interest. But you may watch these because everyone has their own taste when it comes to movies. Also, if you have watched or made up your mind to watch any of the movies we have mentioned here, please do let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Bye!